What's up, everyone? Welcome to the FPL Cougar Show. I'm your host, Chris, and joining me this week is, as always, Kieran.
Good evening.
Hey. Well, we've got a great show for you this week. We're going to review our Game Week 5 teams, look at my wildcard, discuss the fixtures, form players, and then we're going to look ahead to Game Week 6. We've also got quite a lot of topics to get through tonight. We want to talk about Hazard's incredible performance, Chelsea's great form, the latest chapter in the No or Mo Salah debate, and finally I want to talk about manager press conferences and how a bit sort of misleading and disrupted they've been to plans recently, and namely Fraser and Mendy this weekend. Kieran, I think you can start by talking about how Fraser impacted you when we look at your team right here and your score.
Yeah, pretty happy with not taking him out. Nice 18 points there. I wasn't really expecting that after those press conferences that we said that were very misleading. How saying he's a major doubt and he has an orange flag on the game, and I wasn't expecting him to play. I was expecting Billing and Wan-Bissaka to come on. I was hopeful that Walcott would play, and he did, which is great. But yeah, I just sort of he's Fraser. If he plays, he might get something. Just left him on just in case, and then he goes and does that, which is wonderful. Really happy with that. Obviously, you're happy with Hazard's return this week as well.
Yeah. Well, you were close to taking Fraser out and Walcott. You were talking to me earlier or late in the week about the possibilities of who you could bring in.
Yeah, I was looking at changing both of them. I had them kind of taken out in quite a few sort of draft transfers. But I thought I just fell in love with the idea of just rolling the transfer in the end. I wanted to have more freedom this week and have a bit more chance to get Hazard in if I wanted to without having to take a hit, which looks like a good plan now. But yeah, Fraser and Walcott coming in nicely, and Mendy, not playing. After Pep said nothing in his press conference about that. That's something else that in a press conference where Pep just didn't mention at all. Wan-Bissaka coming on for big 9 points for 3 bonus. Brilliant.
Yeah, it was a good week for you, I think. Well, picking up on your Fraser thoughts, like you said, I played the wild card last week and made quite a number of changes. Discussed it in last week's show, but mainly it was to get rid of a couple of deadwood midfielders, Bernardo Silva, Walcott and Jota were the main 3 culprits. I wanted to downgrade PVA and just spread the money throughout the team. So generally it paid off quite well. But like Kieran says, the main or the irritation really was Fraser, because we go back to last week's episode, he was in my team the whole week instead of Pedro. And it wasn't until the press conference on Friday I was like, well, because if people on a wildcard are going to be in the same situation as I was, we don't want a player who's injured in our teams when we've got the luxury of making as many transfers. So I'm sure a lot of people on wildcard would have got rid of him after that. So to see him start and hit such a great score is just a bit of a...
I mean, you would have had Fraser and then probably instead of Wilson, maybe Zaha. So you would have been up way more. Because obviously Pedro is, 1 million more expensive, maybe more.
Yeah, I think he's maybe 5.6 now, or 5.7 now. Sorry.
Yeah, went up last night actually, which is nice.
So yeah.
But yeah, a bit of a shame. A bit of a shame for Mitrovic owners as well, not doing too much after he was mass transferred in. What do you think about him?
I think from what I saw, he had a fairly quiet game. I think he had one or 2 shots all game. But I think away against City, it's not really the sort of game you're going to judge him as a FPL asset.
No.
Got a decent run of fixtures coming up. I think they play Watford at home next, and they go away to Everton. And after Everton's performance against West Ham, I'm confident. So I'm pretty pleased with my wildcard team. Obviously disappointed to miss out on Fraser. Moura and Pedro. One of my main options actually I haven't talked about was Robertson was part of my power free defence, if you like, and I wanted to take advantage of them having a bad run of games and try and pick up on a player who had a better run of games. So I picked Shaw, knowing full well he wasn't going to play on Saturday, but he'd be back, and United have got 2 decent home games coming up. They play home against Wolves this Game Week 6, and then Game Week 8 they play home against Newcastle. So 2 games where I wouldn't have wanted to... Game Week 8 where they play Newcastle, I wouldn't have wanted to play Robertson. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. I'm just trying to I think I'm up on the deal because I played Bennett and I got the clean sheet. So we're okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting to see Shaw if he's going to come in. Like if he plays in the Champions League, and then if he starts the weekend, like
yeah,
who knows? So Young played all right this weekend.
Yeah.
Against Watford, so hard to see if he's going to come in. Actually,
difficult to tell. I think he'll come back for the Champions League game.
Yeah,
and then it'll just be just to get his fitness right, and then it'll be interesting to see if he comes back for the Wolves game. One thing we should probably point out before we move on is we're recording this Monday night, while the Monday night big game is going on between Southampton and Brighton. It is a big game because I just flashed up live action report that Højbjerg, my third defender, has just scored for Southampton. 4.4 million, so brilliant.
You're not going to get him on though, are you? No,
I'm not going to get him on. So after our substitutions, I'm going to end on 69.
Yeah.
And
I should end on 75.
Okay.
Which is pretty good. It's I think the average is around 50-ish.
What, after subs, you mean?
Yeah. Well, actually, no. I'm not sure about that.
The average is like 3 at the moment.
Yeah. Okay. So after subs, assuming it's Wan-Bissaka, it'll be around 50-ish. So yeah, that's 25 points ahead of the curve for me, which is I think at the start of tonight's game I was around 100,000. So hopefully getting into the 100,000 below be nice at the end of this week. Yeah, I'd be really happy with that because I had a small green arrow last week and I haven't had any green arrows before that. It's mostly all been red after my nice first game week. So this is a nice change of pace.
Yeah. No, steady progress. I think you're on 112k. I'm on about 273. I'm 17 points behind you, so it's interesting to know how much that gap is now.
Yeah.
From about 300,000 to 100,000.
Yeah.
So should we move on and start talking about the fixtures from this week? And,
yes, let's do it.
Start, if you loved games at Wembley, you would have loved Spurs v Liverpool because that happened there.
Yeah.
Talk to me about what stood out for you on that one.
Liverpool could have had 4 or 5. Could have been 4 or 5-0.
Yeah.
Really, really frustrating that Robertson lost that clean sheet. I think Trent owners are, loving life. Because I just kind of knew as soon as he got taken off, Trent owners are going to be happy. I knew they were going to score Spurs. Like you put on an extra defender and you sit back and it's just you're just asking for it, and that's what happened. Really annoyed. 92nd minute maybe I think it was, and Robertson the 6-pointer in that game would have been beautiful, but not to be.
They could have almost equalised, couldn't they? Liverpool. Son had that good chance right at the very, very end. If he'd hit that first time, I think he would have.
Is that the one where he got tackled as well?
Yeah.
Penalty.
It could have been a penalty.
Yeah.
But the Salah or Mane debate kicked off again. So it was quite prominent last week because a lot of people played their wild card. We're talking about Liverpool's hard fixtures and compare. If downgraded Salah for the harder fixtures, you could spread the money elsewhere. But a lot of people getting Hazard in, and quite a lot of people jumping on Mane. So Salah I was looking at stats. So Salah had 4 shots against Spurs, and Mane had 5, which is incredible. That between them they had 9 shots against Spurs on their own.
Yeah.
So they're obviously still posting impressive stats, but until Salah really outscores Mane for maybe like 5 weeks running, I think people are going to continue to ship him out, and he's seen quite a lot of sales this week despite them playing Southampton at home.
Yeah, I think he's had about at least over 100k already, hasn't he? I don't think it's a bad shout anymore. I think it's perfectly viable to get rid of him now. I think it's perfectly viable to get rid of Robertson as well, even though Liverpool's defence has looked good and they almost kept the clean sheet in that game. Their fixtures are stiffening up, and if they concede in this game, if Salah's not scoring so much in this game as well, like with their fixtures to come, could that be a trend? Don't know. Maybe. Even with they got PSG tomorrow and they got Napoli and whoever the other one is in their group, but it's difficult. They're worrying times for Liverpool, I think. But I think they'll come through really strongly. But
I think
you see the concern.
Well, I think the start of the season is they've won 5 out of 5. So from that point of view, I think they're playing really well. I was really impressed with how they limited Spurs to 3 shots at home, which is really impressive. So last season they got beat there 4-1. So to restrict Spurs to having 3 shots on target, that's really, really good. And to concede in the obviously injury time is disappointing for FPL owners, but looking forward to go ahead for the rest of the season, this is to go away to one of your big rivals and put in such a good and solid defensive performance. I think that just bodes well for the this run of upcoming trickier fixtures. So we'll see.
Yeah, I mean he's one I'm thinking of possibly getting rid of, but I mean I've got 2 transfers this week, but I just have no idea what to do with them at the moment. It's like I could just do nothing and just waste a transfer. Not sure.
I'll pick your brains more on that as we get to our Game Week 6 preview a bit later in the show. Before we move on, I just want to talk about. I think Spurs were fairly uninspiring from FPL asset point of view. Just apart from
Mora is very close.
Yeah, Mora hit the post.
Yeah,
and I thought he looked by far their best player going forward. He was. I think they missed Ali linking the play a little bit because it looked like Eriksen was left to do it on his own, and Dyer and Dembele weren't making those forward balls stick. But I thought Mora running at people, he was trying to make things happen, and he was unlucky hitting the post in the. Unlucky.
I think Son looked quite good when he came on as well. I think he'd be unlucky if he doesn't start next week. I mean, Mora has played all the minutes. You'd possibly think Mora gets dropped. I mean, obviously Mora's played well, clearly, but he has played all of the minutes so far this season. And Son's come back, looked okay. He's a favourite of Poch, so
it'll be interesting for sure. Spurs have got some decent fixtures now. They play away against Brighton and Huddersfield, home against Cardiff, and away against West Ham. So they've got a good bulk of 4 fixtures there before they have a Welcome City at home, which I think they were planning to do the first game in their new stadium, weren't they?
Yes, so it's delayed, isn't it? Is that right?
Yeah, I think it was delayed until then, unless they re-delayed it. Wouldn't be surprised. But yeah, no. Is there anything else you want to pick up on that game before we move on swiftly on?
We should talk about that poke in the eye.
Did you see that? Poke in the eye. I did.
Yeah, horrible. Horrible. Which means Firmino might miss the Champions League game, but I imagine he'll be back for the weekend. Klopp, said he seems like he's gonna be fine. It's not serious or anything like that. He's not going to lose vision. So, but yeah, something to keep an eye on with press conferences towards the weekend. Anyway,
keep an eye on. I see what you did. What you did. Okay, so we're going to move on now swiftly to Bournemouth Leicester. Cracker of a game, 4-2. Bournemouth. Whoop.
I predicted it. I said there'd be goals.
You did say there would be goals. 6 of them.
Yeah.
Oh. So Fraser, we've already sort of spoken about. I was irritated. You were joyous in celebration with that. I had Wilson. He was my swap from Zaha, my wildcard.
Yeah.
Bit disappointing to just return an assist and a yellow card in a 4-2 home win. But from what I saw, he played quite well. I think he only managed 1 shot all game, which is a bit surprising, really. But he laid on 2 big chances, one of which was converted by Fraser. So I'm quite happy with Wilson at the moment. And in terms of his stats relation to Zaha, I think I'm going to be on a similar sort of points trajectory over the next sort of 4 or 5 games. They've both got good fixtures, so I'm quite happy with him at the moment.
Yeah, him and King are kind of taking it in turns to score each week. Kind of taking it in turns to score the points each week, at least. You got to be happy with Wilson. Keep him if you've got him. Definitely don't change to King if you're thinking about that. No need for that. Madison, really jammy goal again. His returns have been very jammy so far for me, which I'm obviously happy about because he's still really low ownership, which is helping me. Vardy got taken off maybe 2 minutes before, something like that, maybe a minute before, and then he gets the penalty duty. Really nice penalty. Happy he slotted away. Keep going.
Well, he's looking good in terms of the age-old eye test.
Yeah, he did look good.
He's well passing that. It's just that his stats seem to be putting a lot of people off. But the fact that he's producing points off these limited number of shots and big chances created, I suppose, if you like.
Yep.
It's just good for you. I don't think despite Leicester's good fixtures, I don't think I'd get him in at the moment. But yeah, he's a good player. He's looking like a key part of that Leicester attack, really.
I mean, it's tempting to double up with Vardy, honestly. Like, Aubameyang's not doing the business. Vardy looks a great pick. If he can get you a goal, assist each week. Yeah, he's obviously unlucky this week, but I think he's going to turn into a good pick.
Well, they have Huddersfield up next at home, and they
Yeah.
go away to Newcastle, and they've got Everton, so they've got some good fixtures there before they go away to Arsenal, which, to be honest, I'd expect them to get a goal away at Arsenal as well. Playing on the counter-attack would really suit them.
Yeah, Pereira as well for Leicester, consistently returning with assists, and yeah, he looks good. Obviously, he's not getting the clean sheets at all. Their defensive points from that point of view is not good, but he is getting attacking returns, which is good. So if they can start cleaning up their defense in terms of clean sheets, then he's definitely one to still keep an eye on.
Yeah.
I mean, if you've got him, then good.
I think if you've got him, definitely hold on to him for this run. He was a consideration of mine when getting rid of Robertson, but I want, as well as having that attacking potential, I wanted that clean sheet potential. At the end of the day, I didn't see it was going to be happening with Leicester, and to see they conceded, because I didn't watch all the games live at 3 or see any of the scores until after they finished. So to see they conceded 4 before I'd seen he'd got an assist, I was like, oh, I dodged a bit of a bullet there. But no, fair play to his owners. You got your assist out of it, and good run of fixtures coming up.
Yeah, you've got to look at clean sheets first when picking a defender, and then attacking returns afterwards. So if you're thinking of getting him, just be wary.
Yeah. Is there anything else you want to add from
No,
Bournemouth?
let's move on. Yeah.
Okay. Guess what we're going to talk about next?
Chelsea Cardiff.
Yeah, we are. We're going to talk about Hazard first, because he was sort of central to my wildcard, if you like. I had to downgrade a lot of midfielders, and not downgrade, reshuffle funds, let's say, in my midfield and attack, just so I could afford him. And I'm really pleased I did so. It was obviously his highest points return of the season, 20 points, fantastic, and it's second ever hat-trick.
Is it really only second? Wow.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's only second hat-trick for Chelsea, maybe for Chelsea that is. But yeah, it looks like he played really well. His stats are still a little bit surprising. So I think he's now scored 5 goals from 6 shots on target. So he's just been super clinical, I guess. But long may it continue. Yeah, which is great. Yeah, long may it continue. I think he's got some good fixtures coming up. They've got West Ham away next, haven't they? And then they welcome Liverpool, I think, then. So yeah, he seems to be playing more with more freedom under Sarri, which can only be good from an FPL point of view. And I was pleased to see Sarri after the game saying that he's expending too much of his energy 40 yards from goal, and he should be inflicting more damage in the penalty area. So it makes me, and then Sarri followed that up by saying he should be getting 40 goals a season, which is, crazy numbers considering what Salah got last season. But anyway, regardless, I think it looks good for him and Sarri. They look like a good pair. He seems to be getting the best out of him. So yeah, really pleased.
Sarri also said that he thinks he's not just one of the best players in Europe at the moment, the best, the best. So, if Sarri's saying great things like that, he's obviously going to. You think it's going to fuel his kind of confidence at the moment.
Up his performance for sure.
Yeah. So be without him at your peril, I guess.
How do you feel without him?
Horrible, obviously. Yeah. 5 points. Like I've said, Aubameyang is my sort of Hazard at the moment, and 5 points is pale in comparison to 20. If you captained him, you'd be major points this week. Yeah. There wasn't many people that captained him, but people who did, congratulations, you're going massively up the rank. But yeah, I'm certainly looking at him. I think possibly this weekend is the one to do it, but we'll see. I haven't decided.
I liked from this game, or after this game, that Alonso, I don't know if you saw that he tweeted the FPL account to say my surname isn't spelt none.
Yeah.
Or something like that. So
that was a legit assist as well.
Yeah, I was a bit surprised he didn't get it as well.
If you look in the rules or whatever, that ball would have kind of gone to possibly Hazard or Willian anyway if the guy didn't deflect it. So it was in the area, as FPL calls it, that it needs to be.
Like in that video evidence.
Yeah, so it's kind of really bizarre that they didn't give that, and then they gave Lacazette the assist for when he's never intending to pass it to Ozil.
That's crazy, isn't it?
He's shooting, and it goes straight back to Ozil. So how is that an assist? It doesn't really make any sense. Maybe I haven't got the rules right again or something, but feel free to comment. But yeah, don't know. Alonso unlucky, really.
Isn't it interesting that 3 of the left backs in the Premier League are now showing they're aware of fantasy? So Patrick Van Aanholt at the start of the season,
Yeah.
Alonso now, and then I think just before the weekend, Mendy said, "Don't worry, guys, I've got some goals lined up soon."
Yeah,
Love
that was the biggest troll of all, wasn't it?
Oh,
Mendy getting in.
the worst.
He
Yeah.
probably knew he was getting benched, didn't he?
Yeah,
Or knew he was injured.
Mm.
Yeah, that's unbelievable.
We'll talk more about him in a minute, but before we just move on, I want to touch. I haven't really got a lot to say about Cardiff. Sorry, Cardiff fans. But Pedro versus Willie in the debate. Not really a debate, but they seem to be taking each other's points from the bench, if that makes sense. So Pedro started this one because Willian had been away. Willian came on, replaced him, and in 22 minutes got a goal and assist. And so now I'm hoping that next week, away at West Ham, Pedro starts on the bench again like he did at home, comes on, and late goal and assist.
I think Pedro will start. He looked actually really threatening. He had a good few chances, so I don't think you need to be worried there.
No, I'm happy with my triple Chelsea, but when I come to get rid of one of them, because I'm obviously eyes on Richarlison and his form, I think he's more integral to Everton than Pedro is to Chelsea.
Yeah.
I think he could be where make a change there.
Do you think you do that this weekend?
No. I think I'm going to save a transfer, and I think people like me, if you own Pedro, I think he's got time on his side. There's a good game against West Ham coming up. Chelsea are in form. He's playing well, so yeah, I think keep hold for now. Should we move swiftly and surely on to Huddersfield 0, Crystal Palace 1?
Yep.
What would you like to talk about first?
Well, obviously happy with the double defence coming in. Chomps. As soon as Tompkins comes back, they turn on their defence powers.
Yeah.
But the downside is Van Aanholt at 5.5 getting outclassed by Wan-Bissaka at 4 million. Getting Wan-Bissaka getting the 3 bonus.
Yeah.
That is disappointing, to say the least. I kind of got him in for his potential goals and assists and bonus, and none of those are happening.
Yeah.
At 5.5 for a Palace defence is really, really disappointing.
Well, like you say, Wan-Bissaka is just a bonus points magnet. He got it on the first game of the season, didn't he, as well?
Yep.
When they both got an assist and a clean sheet, and he still got the most. And again, this weekend, from a 1-0 win, he's managed to claim max bonus. So, yeah, I think at I think he's 4-1 now, isn't he?
Has he? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think so. If people don't own him, that he's a good enabler as well as a decent option.
Yep. I mean, I'll be looking at Huddersfield defence as well come game week 10. I think their fixtures get a lot better. And they do look okay defensively. Like, Zaha goal was just a solo effort out of nowhere. Great goal. Other than that, like, Palace didn't do too much. I
was going to say that, Palace only managed 7 shots.
Yeah.
Which is really low, and 2 on target. So, yeah, I think when Huddersfield's good fixtures come around, their defence, especially if, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, is it Hamer or Hamer?
Hamer, yeah.
And if they're, if he comes back in at 4, obviously he started the season, got injured, and he's been replaced by Lossell.
Lossell?
Lossell.
Yeah.
So if he gets replaced, and or if he replaces Lossell, that'd be, great route into that defensive line, I think, at 4 million. And picking up on Zaha again, obviously he was one to go for Wilson, got his goal. But I feel a bit sorry for him really, because he's been getting some on the receiving end of some harsh tackles. So it was Capoue against Watford, and I don't know who the right back is for Huddersfield, but that was a really, really bad tackle halfway up his inner leg, I suppose, and it could have really broken his leg. But both times he's been fouled badly in those away games. A few minutes later, he's just been so angry, he's kicked back out and picked up that yellow card, which is so irritating for his owners, because it usually just means you won't get any bonus points. So in both those games he scored, but just because of that, he potentially wiping out maybe 2 or 3 additional points. Obviously the minus yellow card, and then any potential bonus. So I think he's...
Did he end up on 1? Do you know?
1 bonus.
Yeah. I didn't.
I think he ended up. I think his final score was 5.
Okay, so no then.
Yeah, I think so.
Right. Shame.
Could be wrong. Someone let me know if I'm wrong. I'm sorry if I am. I think it's 5 because I remember looking. Okay, should we move swiftly and surely on again to Man City 3, Fulham 0.
Yeah, Sane was interesting. He came in, did well, looked pretty good.
Yeah.
Pep actually finally put him back in after a little extended break out of the team, and he looked like he could be an option again. He looked like he wants to score goals and is hungry.
Yeah.
I don't know if he went down to 8.9. He probably did. Yeah, well, I don't know. It's still a roulette there. He still probably will get benched sometimes, but if you want to go for someone that's cheap, so maybe David Silva's probably the better option still. But yeah, I don't know. What do you think?
I think Silva backed up his underlying stats, didn't he? Because people were predicting on his stats showed that he was having shots, getting in the box and having shots, and obviously it came to fruition that he did score. I love a goal off the underside of the crossbar, by the way. Just that sound of the and then pow! Oh, I love it. So yeah, great. Well, I say great goal. It was 6 yards out when it just knocked it over the keeper. Bit of a jammy assist for Aguero. We both had him.
Yeah.
We'll take that. But the Man City midfielder I wanted to talk about was Raheem Sterling now, because he had 5 shots total against Fulham, which is great. So he has now got 27 points this season, which is 2 behind Salah. Okay, which is already quite impressive. Bear in mind that he's 2 million less. But he's also done that in 145 minutes less pitch time. So he totally missed game week 2, and he's been subbed off early in like 3 of the 4 games he has played. So his rate and his numbers at the moment are, I mean, it helps that their fixtures have been better than City's, I'd argue, but yeah, he's proving that last season wasn't a fluke, and he's picking up that form again. Would he be one you consider?
I don't know. They're just getting benched off or subbed off, and then not starting random games here and there just makes me not want him. Like, his numbers are great, but it's just, you just hate to see it when he comes off. And I mean, I'm thinking about getting rid of Aguero as well, because he's fairly consistent at the moment. Maybe Sterling's an option.
I quite like him. I like him. I had him pretty much, I don't know, 75% of last season, and obviously he was a lot cheaper then. But I could see midfields happening. If Salah is sort of keeping pace with Sterling rather than just smashing him out of the water in terms of points, I could see a lot of people turn into a midfield where it's Hazard, Sterling, and Mane, and the funds from Salah get spread around a bit.
So would you have Aguero as well, though?
No, probably not. No, I'd probably have to downgrade to, a 9 or 10 million sort of pound striker, maybe.
As if you want the explosive 3 goals from Aguero, or you want probably a consistent tap in from Sterling, maybe 2 games out of 3. I don't know.
I think that, but they played well. They played well against Fulham. I think Fulham tried to press them quite high up the pitch, and that was a bit of led to their downfall, didn't it? Because Seri gave the ball away for the counter attack for City's first goal inside the first couple of minutes. I think that sort of not ended the contest, but I mean, giving a goal like that away against City in the first couple of minutes must be really demoralising. Yeah,
shame Mendy couldn't have showed up, because he probably would have done well in this game. And it would have been a double clean sheet, which would have been great points for me. But obviously, Wan-Bissaka got me 9 points. But Mendy had the real opportunities for assists in that game as well. What do you think? Aguero's injured or anything, like really badly? I don't know.
I think Pep probably would have made more of a big deal about both of them. He's been quite vague, isn't he? So far, I like to think that if someone is out with Pep, like with De Bruyne, they'd make it a bit more. I mean, it was a bit longer. But if Aguero was out and Mendy did have a knee problem, like he's had a knee problem last season, they probably would say Mendy's in trouble. He's going to be a month or 2 out. But the fact that it's not specific, it makes me think they'll probably be back either for the Champions League game or this weekend. So I think if you've got, obviously we always say wait for the press conference, but I think there's lots of, with having Alonso and Robertson performing so well, almost even Van Dijk, a lot of people I could see going Mendy to Van Dijk this weekend, just to sort of bank on the Liverpool clean sheet against Southampton.
I mean, I've read tweets today saying that Mendy's hadn't been assessed and it's not anything serious, so that he should be back for the weekend. But away for the press conference because.
Yeah.
But we don't know if Pep's actually will say anything conclusive in that anyway. So I would say keep him for now. I'm going to keep him. I don't really like losing that 0.2 value because if I sell him now, I won't have gained anything really, apart from a bit of team value before, which will just go. And I don't want to buy him back for 6.2. That's for sure. I'm keeping him for a few weeks until we know more. I just hope he's back this weekend.
I have a feeling he's actually 6.5 now.
Is he actually?
Yeah, I think he's 6.5. My selling price is 6.2. So I'd lose 0.3 on him. So I probably wouldn't sell him. I'd probably bench him for a bit.
Yeah, that's 0.3 is
it's a
big bit to lose.
Yeah, you're almost taking like a 4-point hit to downgrade someone else to get him in on another game week. So
yeah,
I think best to hold if it's not going to be long term.
So
Newcastle. Well, anything else you want to say on that one?
Mitrovic didn't do much for his owners, but Schürrle looked pretty good still. He had a good few opportunities, still shooting on side pretty much. Yeah. So yeah, I like Schürrle, and I'm definitely thinking about him. Possibly Walcott replacement in the near future, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe Aubameyang goes to Mitrovic. Yeah, we'll see.
Okay. Yeah, we'll talk about your tinkering, your transfer plans. Because I want to ask you in depth about Aubameyang a bit later. But first, let's just talk in general about Newcastle Arsenal. Another 2-1 for Newcastle fans. They must bloody love them up there. Getting all the 2-1s. Their fixtures are still... They're starting to clear, actually. The clouds above St James's Park or the Sports Direct Arena are going. And, I think they play Crystal Palace away now. Leicester. Then they go away to United before they have a decent run of fixtures. But... is there anyone who's really catching your eye from Newcastle? No, exactly the same. Shake of the head says it all. I had a look at who's been performing well. Kieran Clark is their highest scoring player, I think. He's a 4.5 million defender. Yeah. And even for 4.5, I think you'd have better options at Wolves. And we'll talk about them a bit later. So unless Richie, Kennedy or Rondon decides to show that they're like half a player, then... sadly, I don't know who's going to be in.
Perez was good for people at the end of last season.
Not getting much of a look now, though.
No, did he start that game? I don't think he did, right?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Okay, well, anyway, like if he can get form, he'll be good. But he hasn't started all the games, so nothing from Newcastle for the time being.
So Arsenal, I think, only had 2 shots on target this game. One of them was an Ozil goal, and the other one was the Xhaka free kick. And obviously a pair of assists for Aubameyang and Lacazette. We've already said Lacaz's one was a bit fortunate with the rebound.
Yeah.
And Lacaz's one was just Aubameyang's was just thanks to a fantastic free kick.
Yeah.
So it must be quite frustrating. We're now 5 game weeks in and just so undecided about Arsenal's team formation, their best players. I mean, a lot of people got burnt by Mickey as well.
Yeah, again.
It's difficult to work out. What do you recommend with Arsenal assets? Because the fixtures are good. The fixtures are there.
Hard to recommend anything at the moment. I mean, Mkhitaryan I'd say get rid of at this point. He's just too rotation prone. Like with Arsenal picking up wins with Aubameyang and Lacazette on the field, and Ozil obviously being favoured. Because he played crap in the last game, but played this game, so he's obviously favoured. And Ramsey, Emery seems to really like him as well. So Mkhitaryan doesn't seem to have a place.
Yeah.
So if you've got him, I'd say get rid. But if you've got other things, other fishes to fry, then keep hold of him because he's coming off the bench and he could still get returns because he comes on around 70 minutes. He's still got 20 minutes to get stuff. Kind of like Pedro / Willian for Chelsea. Aubameyang wise, I looked at his heat maps and he looked like a left wing back. That was that bad. His kind of heat map around the box is basically non-existent. Which for 11 million, quality striker that he is, that's just not what I want to see, and not what any owners want to see. So it's really time to start thinking about getting rid of him. I would like to get Hazard, but I would also like to keep Aubameyang.
Can't have everything, Kieran.
No, I know.
You've got to choose. I still think looking at him and yeah, like you say, I was going to bring up his heat maps and just where Emre's had him play him in the recent games. He's just not having the shots he was having at the end of the season last season. He's just not getting into those positions. Lack is playing through the middle when he plays, and he's been forced out wide. I just don't think he's effective there. But when you saying all that, when you look at the fixtures, you think, wow, he must get something in those games because he's a great player.
At the moment, I'm leaning towards keeping him for one more week, just because I know Everton next week, how bad Everton's defence is.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean he's going to get in the position to do anything, because he's looking like a left wing back, as I said. So I'm undecided. I don't want to sit on the fence, but I am undecided about this at the moment because I just don't know. Because it would be Aubameyang and Walcott for Mitrovic and Hazard.
What I can see happening though is he'll play Everton and he might get like another assist, and you'll say, "Oh, it's Watford up next at home. Oh, maybe I'll just keep him another week." And then before you know it, it's game week 38 and the whole season.
Yeah, no, it was true. That's what I said like last week. It's the hope. He keeps getting a little assist here, and I'm just he's giving me a bit of hope.
Yeah.
That I can get goals.
Teasing you.
And he is teasing me.
A little temptress.
So, what would you do? Would you get rid of him?
Well, if I'd had him, he probably would have gone in the wildcard. If I'm honest. Yeah, he would have gone, and I would have switched. I would have brought in Hazard.
I mean, but I've got 2 free transfers. Is now the time, in your opinion?
It is a tricky one.
Yeah.
What would your other transfer be? Walcott?
Yeah, or Madison, I guess.
Not Madison.
It probably wouldn't be Madison. It would probably be Walcott, because he's slash Trollcott.
Yeah. I'd probably say that getting rid of Walcott's a more pressing transfer than getting rid of Aubameyang, funnily enough. But if you've got 2 to play with, I think wait for the news on Aguero and Mendy with my advice, and then based on that, I would consider very strongly getting rid of Walcott for Hazard and Aubameyang for Mitrovic, Wilson, Arnautovic if he's fit.
But at the same time, Walcott against his old club Arsenal next week, kind of fancy him.
No.
No?
No.
Come on.
No, he hasn't got the form. We're all about form now.
Yeah.
All about form.
Yeah, maybe. Okay, let's move on.
Okay, talking of form, Marouane Fellaini, what a legend. He's made such a difference to Manchester United in the last 2 games.
Yeah.
He's brought a bit of stability back to the midfield after Fred was sort of clowning around in there. And yeah, they've looked good, haven't they? Away against Burnley, away against Watford. Generally, you'd think those are difficult places to go. And after being beaten 3-0 by Spurs like a month ago now, it must have been, or 3 weeks ago, they looked, there was trouble. And they've done well.
I said they'd probably pick up a scrapey win, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. Yeah, no, it was a scrapey win. Great finish by Smalling. And I think he now, after De Gea, is probably the most nailed on centre-back, isn't he? I think Jose, if he's fit, he picks him. And he's, he helped form part of the most successful defence last season. So I can't see why United wouldn't do the same again, really. Now he's back, I can see the clean sheets coming, which is sort of a bit why I hopped on Luke Shaw right now, to take advantage if Smalling's playing and De Gea's playing. Those home games, United had a lot of shutouts at home last season, so hoping to take advantage of those.
It's a shame Fellaini can't turn his performances into points, because he'd be a good pick if he could get up there for like a nice headed goal and be reliable in that sense.
Yeah,
he'd be a good pick, because he'd probably get a bonus as well because of all the work he does elsewhere.
What did you think of Pereira for Watford? He's quite heavily owned. No returns in his last 2 now. Granted, they were at home against Spurs and United. He had obviously no shots, and he's got 2 away games next.
Mm-hmm. He didn't do too much, did he?
No, he didn't. Would you be worried if you were an owner now? 2 away, Fulham and Arsenal?
Yes. I mean, if you don't have Fraser, I'd be looking to get Fraser for him. Yeah. But Watford had this sort of signs of being like a Leicester title-winning season, but then that quickly went away. They were showing that kind of form, and Pereira was showing Mahrez kind of form. Mm-hmm. But that's quickly gone, and I think Watford might start to regress a bit. I could see them possibly losing this weekend. Yeah, I would say get rid of if you don't have Fraser, then maybe look at Schürrle, something like that. Both informed players that are a good downgrade.
The reason I bring it up is I think a lot of people will be seeing a lot of these other mid-price midfielders picking up points, namely Maddison, Fraser, and they will be thinking, okay, Pereira hasn't done it for a couple of weeks. He's got a couple of away games up next. Do I stick it out with him? I know what people... I mean, he went... he rose a lot in price thanks to his great start, so I imagine a lot of his owners were quick to get him in, and I imagine they'd be quick to get him out again. So, yeah, the reason I bring it up now, but I think there's more options out there. I think with Richarlison coming back as well, I think there's a potential route.
He's just one of those players you can't trust to be in form for a long time. I think he's pretty patchy, isn't he?
Yeah. Talking of patchiness, or not, I don't even know if it's patchiness. It's just poor form now. Is Sanchez, and just what do you think is? I mean, Sanchez as a backup to. Well, we'll talk about the United attack actually in general. So Lukaku got his goal, which he was a consideration of mine on the wildcard at the very beginning. Do I want Lukaku or do I want Hazard? And I just thought Lukaku isn't as likely to return those double-digit hauls. I don't want him. And he scored obviously a single goal. Yeah. Great finish off his lower chest rib cage there. It was really nice. And but it's similar to last season. Is a one goal a game or one assist. He hasn't really blown up and given us the captaincy option there.
It's something I've got in my notes, like this, consistency or explosiveness. What trumps it? Like for 11 million, Aguero / Lukaku or / Aubameyang.
Yeah. Do
you want a consistent 6 or 7 points every week, or a hat trick of 20 points every third week?
I think I would want someone who I could feel safe putting the captaincy on, knowing that they could get a big score. So I know that Aguero is capable.
Just as likely to blank though.
Yeah, but I think if you play your captaincy right, I'd be more confident then captaining Aguero away from home than I would be Lukaku. And similarly, I'd be more comfortable captaining Aguero at home than I would be Lukaku at home. So from that point of view, I think I wouldn't move off Aguero, and Lukaku wouldn't be an option for me.
Kind of depends if you're chasing as well. Slightly, Lukaku's ownership is pretty low.
Yeah.
Aguero hasn't shown the best form, but he's still getting assists at the same time. Lukaku doesn't seem to be getting that. The United aren't going to be blowing teams away. No. They haven't got the 4-0s that they were getting most weeks at the start of last season. So,
well, I think Sanchez Sanchez seems to be slowing him down. His form just since he's joined United has been really poor. I think he scored, or just his play. I think he scored 3 goals, and one of them was like the rebound off the penalty in like his first game.
Yeah.
So I don't know what's up with him at the moment, but he can really only get better.
Certainly not a asset for FPL wise at the moment. Hopefully he can pick up form, because he'd be great to have in teams. Yeah. Because he's, just for history's sake, he's a great player. But just not for United at the moment. Lingard's definitely the better option if you want to go other than Lukaku or Pogba.
Why do you think he's the better option?
He just seems to be everywhere, getting shots away. Seems to link play more. Seems to have more just understanding with the players. I don't know. Sanchez just can't seem to find anyone. Just he always gives the ball away. I think Lingard's about to start scoring, like I said last week. So only a matter of time.
I agree. Lingard is more involved generally, but I'm holding my breath on that Lingard goal, and I'm going blue in the face, because I just think he looks great, and I just think he's until he puts one away or even gets an assist, I'm gonna remain unconvinced. He'll
put 2 away in the Champions League and then do nothing this weekend.
Oh yeah, okay, that'll probably happen. Okay, I agree with you there. Right, should we move on to Super Sunday?
Yes.
Is it called Super Sunday anymore?
I mean, for those 2 games, I'm not sure, but
Kieran. So apologies to Wolves, Burnley, Everton, and West Ham fans. just shots across. Anyway, we'll call it Super Sunday because it sounds good. Wolves kicked us off against Burnley. If you loved 1-0 scorelines and games with lots of shots, you would have loved this one. 30 shots Wolves had.
Yeah.
30. And it just proved how poor their finishing was. It was like watching when I watch Match of the Day, it's just like it was like a bloopers. It's like a DVD bloopers video being commentated on. It was crazy. All the chances they spurned and knocked over. I mean, I think Jota could have had about 3 or 4 assists in that game.
Yeah.
But to have 30 shots against Burnley as well. I mean, we were talking on our preview show last week that we thought that Burnley out of the Europa League would mean they return to their sort of defensive solidity of last season, and to concede 30 shots away is crazy. And that's not Joe Hart either.
Oh well, Joe Hart made a lot of saves.
He did make a lot of saves, yeah. Well, that's what I mean though. He's not doing the defending. How are they getting that many shots in? I'd be a bit worried for them. Their upcoming fixtures, they play at home against Bournemouth, so we're rubbing our hands together with Callum Wilson and Fraser.
Yep.
And then they play away against Cardiff and home against Huddersfield. So that, I mean, on paper for Burnley, there's some good fixtures there against teams that, well, especially Cardiff and Huddersfield, that are around that sort of area in the table. What do you think of them at the moment?
Of Wolves or Burnley?
Of Burnley.
Oh, just stay away completely. Me is dropping, which is interesting. He's gone to 4.9. If he goes any lower and they do start picking up form, he's definitely one to get in. Yeah. If come game week 8 or 10 and I've still got my wildcard, I'll definitely look at them. But for now, stay away. Like they're Barnes and Wood and Vokes and all that they were picking up sort of consistent goals last year, not doing it, not even getting close really. They didn't really threaten Wolves at all. Wolves defenders look good. Burnley wise, no, don't like.
Which Wolves defender stood out? I mean, I could name a lot.
Doherty, he looks great, with the assist, and then he could have had a goal himself when he was put through by Jimenez. Absolutely awful finish, but he looks great. 4.5 or 4.4 maybe.
Yeah, he's 4.
Yeah, good value. And Bennett as well, who you have great value at 4.1. Wolves look good defensive wise altogether. I mean, I really like Johnny as well. He's really attacking. So any one of them at the moment. Even Bolly, he had his chances too. But maybe the only one to not go for would be Cody, because he's got nowhere near any of the goals, and he just sits back. So they look great.
Bolly seems a great bonus point magnet as well.
Yeah.
And it's 2-0 to Southampton.
Oh,
just wait to see the scores. Bolly seems like a great bonus point magnet. Patricio is really helping out in goal, and 4-5. They've got some really great options. I would, if I was going to play my wildcard again today, I would consider Doherty as part of a 3-man defence, which was Mendy and Alonso. Oh, it's Danny Ings that scored.
Ooh. None with another assist.
Ooh. Oh, nuns everywhere this weekend. So Bolly, Patricio, they're all good options. And if I was doing the wildcard again this week, Doherty would definitely be in the defence there as potential as just a cheap enabler, so I could have Mendy and Alonso and maybe forego Robertson. Because he's looking good. Good value, and I think he allows upgrading elsewhere.
Do you think he would be worth a PVA downgrade to Doherty?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Interesting. I think he could make in any other season when we didn't have such. Well, Mendy wasn't around last season really as an option, and Robertson didn't really come into the fore until after sort of December, January time. And in seasons gone by, a player like Doherty would be a definite nailed on. Probably a third defender in your back three, really.
Yeah, because it used to be lots of 4.5s, didn't it?
Exactly, yeah. And it'd be great, but this season there's a lot of premium players delivering at the back.
Yep.
That's what she said. Everton West Ham, the final game of the game week season. Game week.
Well, there's tonight's one.
There is tonight's one, yeah, that's true. Final game is Sunday then. Super Sunday. Arnie with a great performance after I sold him. Goal and assist, and looked like he was everywhere, didn't he? He was linking everything.
Yep. Yeah, he looked great. I'm certainly thinking about in game him instead of Aubameyang as well. He's definitely on my watch list. He's proving the old talisman theory, isn't he? Just like Zaha, that he can just get goals and bully teams. He's just selfish as well, very selfish. Just wants all the goals, and if he gets close and he's running, there's someone next to him, he's probably not going to pass it.
Yeah.
But although he did for
Yarmolenko's
goal, I think it was the first one, wasn't it? He did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, and Yarmolenko possibly a option as well. If he first start in the Premier League, gets 2 goals, Pellegrini's not going to drop him, is he? 7-0. Yeah.
I think it did West Ham a bit of a disservice last week because I said they could potentially lose 8 in a row because after Everton, who were looking quite attacking, they got some really difficult games. But I was really impressed. They played Declan Rice at the base of a midfield three. And I thought he looked really, really good, and they had great balance to their side. And I think it was the first time, wasn't it? Yarmolenko and Anderson were starting with Arnautovic, and they made a really exciting front three. They had pace, skill and precision, and Arnautovic was really, really benefited from that.
Strange to see why Yarmolenko hasn't started before. I don't know what the reason was, but yeah, he seemed to improve them completely. Just linking up play and shooting on sight, fantastic.
Maybe just getting used to the Premier League, getting up to speed with it.
Yeah, maybe.
Some players adapt quicker than others, don't they? So we might see him starting more games now. So Walcott owners, it was another blank.
Trolcott.
Two in a row, Trolcott, after his mass transfers in when Richarlison got injured. What would you recommend to other Walcott owners like yourself?
Well, there was a picture of him in training, I think on Friday or Thursday, and it was just him really smiling at the camera, and it's just you're just thinking, oh my god, you've fallen for it again. We've picked him, and he's just smiling. All you idiots picking me! I've trolled you again, just for another year. And I said at the beginning of the season, I was like, never Walcott, and I went and did it because I wanted to keep the Everton defence. I'm not too annoyed about it because I got 2 points just like I would have from Billing. And I fancied Walcott would, obviously, if he started, to get more than 2. So I haven't lost anything or anything. But he's just typical Walcott, isn't he? He just doesn't do anything when you expect him to.
Yeah, he'll surprise you when you least expect it.
Yeah. If I get rid of him this week in a hazard transfer or whatever, he'll probably go and score against Arsenal. That's just Walcott for you, literally.
You're right in thinking there's going to be goals in that game, though. So I can see why you're a bit tempted to keep him. But anyone who is desperate to get rid of Walcott, there's so many options now. Fraser, Maddison, I think Mora's playing well. Pedro's playing well. I think Richarlison's back this weekend as well, isn't he?
Yes.
So if you want to reverse, I'm sure most Walcott owners are owners because of the Richarlison red card. So
yes,
if you want to reverse the transfer, I think wouldn't be a bad move.
I don't know. That seems sideways to me. He's
a better player.
He is the better player, but if I do that, Walcott will go and score, and Richarlison probably get sent off again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That just seems so sideways. It's unreal.
Sometimes you got to just bite the bullet and do it, and know that for the long run it'll be better. But there was a good example for me to use is a couple of seasons ago. It was one of Coleman's first breakout seasons for Everton, and I had Baines, and I was really reluctant to switch to Coleman for weeks and weeks, thinking, Baines is on penalties, Baines is on corners, he'll match his output. And weeks were going by, and Coleman was getting goals and assists, and obviously racking up the clean sheet points. And I think if I just bitten the bullet and done it, the amount of points I would have made up was worth doing it because I knew I was going to keep him for a long time. And I suppose that while it looks on paper or silly, I guess in some instances, to transfer one player for another one who's very similar, in a team like Everton, who are not they were at that time top 6 team.
Yep.
But do you know what I mean? A top FPL producing points team. It seems like a strange decision, and yeah, I can see why you question doing it. But sometimes you just got to make the decision. Know that the player you're bringing in is going to be better in the long term.
Yeah,
that's my opinion.
No, I can see that. But Walcott would have to go in terms of he'd go for Hazard because he's the most expensive one that I want to that I could feel I can get rid of.
Yeah.
I don't really want to get rid of Maddison. So, I mean, if I could find a way to get rid of Billing for Hazard, happy days. But I can't see that happening.
Well, should we jump? So obviously, as we said earlier, we're recording this on Monday. Should we jump straight into our preview, and we'll just touch on, as of now, the score in the Southampton-Brighton game is 2-1 Southampton. But it'll be finished by the time as we watch this. But Danny Ings again.
Yep.
Hello.
Yeah, I'm sure owners probably weren't too happy coming into this game. They probably weren't expecting too much, but yeah, he's done well.
It's a shame he's got Liverpool. I mean, his transfers will probably drop off because he's banned, or not banned. Sorry, he's not eligible for the Liverpool game.
You say that, but lots of people are still bringing him in. People don't look. Yeah, people don't look. But yeah, don't transfer him in, guys. He can't play next weekend.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Unless you want him on your bench, maybe you do. So let's talk through our teams for the upcoming game week then.
Yes.
I'll talk through mine first because I'm on the left and I read left to right. Okay, so Shaw obviously is in. Mendy and Alonso at the back. If I hear about Mendy being out, like we talked about, if he's going to be out for 2, 3, 4 weeks, then I'll definitely make the change to Robertson. If he's going to get Robertson back in almost straight away for that home game against Southampton. If he's going to return in a week or two, I'll just play Wan-Bissaka and get on with it, I think.
I fancy Wan-Bissaka there. Yeah. I'm thinking about playing him anyway.
Oh, okay. What, 5 at the back for...
No, I think in your case.
Oh, I see. Okay.
I mean, I am kind of thinking about playing him, but it's maybe instead of Van Aanholt. Yeah, Karen, sorry.
So that's all right. That's that one. So Pedro, I'm basically not. I'm going to roll the transfer this week because I've just played a wild card. I don't see anything majorly wrong with my team, and unless Aguero or Mendy get ruled out, then I might be persuaded into it. But I'm quite happy. Captaincy, I haven't actually decided yet. So as soon as you can load up your team for the next game week, I put it on Salah. But I'm really, really tempted to go for Hazard or Aguero as a bit of a differential captain choice. I think they've both got... I think most people will be captaining Salah home against Southampton, but Hazard and Aguero away against West Ham, who had before this weekend been quite leaky, and Cardiff, who are very leaky. I think there's a good opportunity to make a bit of a rank gain, I suppose, if you like.
Yeah, hard to go against Salah, but yeah, I like the Aguero shout as well. I mean, I've got it on Aguero at the moment, but only just due to have not changed it. But I mean, I want to put it out there. Fraser against Burnley.
It's a crazy pick. It's a crazy.
If you're feeling really ballsy, he is proper in form. And Burnley look absolute trash.
Yeah.
So.
And Bournemouth are playing really well.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
They could easily put 3 or 4 against Burnley again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I expect Fraser to be involved, to be honest. But obviously, like the big guys have great fixtures as well. So
that's the thing. If it's a game week when a lot of the big teams are playing each other, this sort of game where Fraser's playing away against Burnley, it'd be perfect. But with Southampton at home and Cardiff away and West Ham away, it's part of those 3, and even Aubameyang at home. I know he hasn't got the form to back it up, but
if I was in the millions, like overall rank, I'd put on Fraser.
Would you? Okay.
But yeah, I'm not. So
so yeah, that's my team. I'm pretty set, and looking forward to the game week. I reckon it'll come around quite quick.
Yeah, that looks like a good team for next week.
So your major dilemma, as we've sort of already touched on, is going to be Aubameyang and Walcott and what to do with them.
And possibly Van Aanholt as well as a part of a -4, possibly. If I can work out a way to get rid of Billing and then keep Walcott and Maddison maybe, and get rid of Aubameyang and Van Aanholt. I don't know. It's just all up in the air at the moment. Honestly, I can't say what I'm going to do. But
yeah, there's lots to think about before the start or before this weekend. I think the major. Not the major concerns, but the concerns for most people will just be what's happened with Aguero and Mendy. Because they're so heavily owned. I think Aguero is the most owned player, isn't he?
Yes, he has gone past Salah.
Yeah, I think Mendy's obviously really quite highly owned as well. So knowing what's the situation with both of those will be vitally important and influence a lot of people's transfers. So
I have the feeling they'll both be fine. But
let's hope so, because I think Cardiff away is a really great fixture for City to rack up some big points. Do you want to pick out a clean sheet for the weekend?
yes, got it on my notes. So I'm saying Palace.
Okay, Palace.
Yeah, with Tompkins back, Palace home to Newcastle. Mm-hmm. Yep, clean sheet.
Okay, I like that pick.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go for Bournemouth as my pick away against Burnley. I just think Burnley seem to be stuck in the rut, not making too many chances. I could see Bournemouth's defence was looking quite good for 80 minutes of the game and just switched off last 10 minutes, and I think Howe will be livid and they won't do that again. So yeah, I wouldn't be certain. Their stats previous to that about the number of big chances they allowed was really up there. So
I mean, we could pick any of the top teams pretty much this week. Arsenal, Liverpool. Who are Chelsea playing?
Away at West Ham.
Yeah, they could possibly get a clean sheet. United could. City probably will.
I'd like to try and pick a team who I don't own.
Yeah.
Because I'd like to think that all my defenders will get clean sheets this weekend.
Yes.
And goals. Cool.
Yep.
All right, is there anything you want to add for your Game Week 6 preview? Or
we'll put the Champions League code in the description below. So yeah, I'll be putting up my team soon, which is obviously for tomorrow. So yeah, looking forward to that. Come into the league, join us, try and win.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it should be good. As you saw, I've done my team earlier. I don't usually take the Champions League as seriously. I just like to pick a team and watch the games. But yeah, I'll try and keep an eye on it this season to see how I get on.
Yeah.
So, but I think that wraps up tonight's preview and short review show. Thanks for everyone who's stuck around and been a part of the show. We'll be back early next week with our Game Week 6 review show. If you have a topic you want to discuss or you want to run your team by Kieran or I, YouTube comments is a place to do it. I'm usually on there going tippity tap, replying to all the comments. Kieran's usually on Twitter, chatting people up, just getting involved, and find us there and there. We'll put the link in the video description to our Twitter page if you're not already following us. If you haven't already, we'd really appreciate thumbs up on the video, like this, like that, and subscribe as well so you don't miss our shows. So until next week, it's goodbye from me.
Goodbye. Good luck.